Okay, the San Bernardino shooting that happened last week was a terrible tragedy. Um, 14 people tragically lost their lives. Um, 14 people tragically lost their lives in this horrible tragedy last week. 20 more. It said more than 20 people were wounded in the shooting. And the two people that did the shooting were I think they were radicals. I think they were radicals or something like that. And one of the and yeah, both suspects that did the shooting were killed. They're still trying. They're still trying to find the third person that they're still looking for a third person that of interest. They're still looking for the third person that was involved in the shooting. And it said the person one of the person was made a pledge of allegiance. Made one of the persons that took part in the shooting made a pledge of allegiance to the terrorist group known as ISIS. Yes, said it ISIS. But as I said before, both the people that took place, the people that took part in the shooting were killed. And as I said before, 14 people tragically lost their lives in the San Bernardino shooting. And it said over 20 people were killed. And they're still looking for the third person that took part in this horrible tragedy. But this tragedy kind of hits too close to home for some people. But this was a horrible tragedy that no one ever expected to happen, but it did. And 14, but as I said earlier, 14 people lost their lives. Over 20 people. They say over 20 people were wounded, and two people that took place in the two people that took place in that the two people that took part in the shooting were killed, and they're still looking for a third person that might have been involved in the shooting. And they also said the people that took part in the shooting were given guns by a relative. And the relative, I think the relative was also a radical. I'm not sure, but this tragedy took place. Ever since this tragedy took place last week, it's been kind of a wake up. It's been kind of a wake up call to people all over the world. And something like this, we never expected something like this to happen, but as I said, it did. And our condolences go out to the 14 people that lost their lives, and my best wishes go out to the people, to the over 20, go out to the people that were wounded in the shooting. But again, this kind of hits too close to home, for some people, because some people had relatives that were working, that were working in the place, working in California where the shooting took place. Some had relatives over there, and some had friends. Some had friends over there. But like I said earlier, this tragedy kind of hits too close to home. No one expected this tragedy to happen, but it did. It was this tragedy was all over the news. It, and other and 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 other and other sources. It was talked about on the news. It was talked about on the internet. Um, and it was kind of talked about like in the newspaper too. And but as I said earlier, condolences go out to the people that lost their lives, and our well wishes go out to the to the over 20 something people that were wounded. But this tragedy, this senseless tragedy, as I said, it kind of hits too close to home. Never expected for this tragedy to happen, but it did. And I mean, seriously, this was a wake-up call that something like this would happen around the holidays. And the 14 people that were killed and the 20-something people that were wounded they were in the middle of a Christmas party, and this shooting took place at one of those. I think it was at a. I think it was at a health facility. If I'm not mistaken. And tragedies like this can happen anywhere. Yeah, I said it, anywhere. And in closing, as I said before, our condolences go out to the families of the victims, and our wishes go out to the over 20 something people that are wounded.